second single whip, high pat on the horse, going through serpent in the grass, okay? I'm gonna demonstrate first. Your job is to watch. Your job is to figure out where you need a little bit more help just by watching. We will try to cover all the detail as we go through it, okay, as a drill, okay? So I'm gonna take the front version. I think it's a better version, but I'm not really sure. So I'm at the second single whip, okay? Second single whip, setting it up correctly. Half step forward, sit back, pat your horse, cross, step out, heel down, energy up, energy out, energy in, heel, softly down, double punch. Sit back, sit down, pivot all the way around, left hand outside, left foot coming up, kick out, left. In, hook, down. Okay, in, hook, down. Stack yourself. When you stack up some blocks, everything has to be in order. The right stack has to go down. It cannot go down this way. It'll topple. So in this hook here, you stack. When you stack, you come down. Gravity pulls that hand down. Halfway, you veer to the left. In this position, it's awkward. You need to adjust the back foot. Tuck that hook hand back here, setting it up correctly. We have weight on both feet. We are in the middle. We need to use our upper body to help us spin on an axle and come up as a golden cockerel. Toe comes down so that it's in line with the heel of the other foot. I set it up. I split out, parallel. I stack myself. That means I just have to drop in line. Let gravity take care of me. As I veer to the right, I can now adjust the back foot and do a zigzag rather than a straightaway. I then shift my weight, spin on my axle, push down, pull up. Down, ball, heel, hand, spin the ball, turn the hips and waist, shuttles right here. Sit back, sit down, slightly pivot out, hold my ball, left heel, left hand spins, nothing with my hips until I'm ready and set it up. The power of the hips and waist finds that shuttlecock, the place where it should be. I go back, half backwards, I set it up. My right hand is set up like I'm wearing a mitten. My left hand is high here. Everything happens when I go down. I lift up, I go down. I don't go down like this. You're stacked here, gravity, by lifting up, it allows you to go down. One hand, two hands, because you need the strength, you need the central, you need your balance. As you go up further, you need more balance. The foot helps you. You extend the knee, the heel comes out, the hands follow the feet. Sit back, sit down, pivot, shift the weight to the back, exchange the hands, form that fist, spin out, heel, deflect, bring the parry in, and then the punch. Okay? Strip the guy off of you, roll back, sit down, push him down, push him up, push him out. Twist, open, in, embrace, move over, then rotate, embrace, move over, rotate, bring him in, push him away. Okay, and when you push them away now, no inside out of the cross hands. Then gravity field, you feel that everything coming back. You weight down on the right to allow this to close. Okay, that's a lot, but in every instance, I'm applying the essentials of Tai Chi, and that's what I want you to do, whether it's beefing up 1, 2, 3 or more refinements. That's what I want to accomplish today. So your job was, when you watched, you were to say, oh, I need to take better note of what I do in that particular area. So you then try to progress and build on that 1 or 2 or 3 areas or more, okay? It's not going to be easy because each of us has different places they need to work on, and the movements go fast because we're not able to hold them that long. But whatever you can pick up, I want you to notate it now, and I want you to try to work on it, okay? I don't want it to be just a general thing. I want it to be specific, because too many times we can say it's a general way of doing it, but now we're down to a little bit more nitty-gritty, okay? Refine that a little bit more. All right, let's take it a little slower, but slower is harder, okay? So we're going the regular way this time, okay? We're at the last single whip. Left foot forward, 45 degree of the right foot, flex the left front foot so that the knee is not beyond the toe. The left hand takes that same position. The right hand is the hook, making sure the hand, look at my hand, is not extended that way, but there is a bend in the right elbow. Okay, here we go. Half step forward, sit back. Next, this allows us to rock the front. We're on the toe of the front, lift off the ground and pat your horse. Left hand is at your hip, right hand is forward in the center as if it were going up the horse or went up the horse's mane. You're on the toe of your front foot. You're going to jab the guy, or you're going to cross your left hand to the wrist of the right. When we step out with our left heel, both palms are down. Here we go. Left heel out to the left. Shift your weight. Palms are down. Right hand on the outside. Right foot coming up. Kick out right. In. L stance. Heel goes down. Hands tucked under. And come out as a double punch, knowing that you're punching someone's ears. Sit back. Sit down, open the fingers, twist all the way around to the street. Left hand on the outside, left foot coming up, kick out, left. Okay, let's turn it this way now, okay? Turn it this way. So good, you got that. So this is what you did, okay? This is what you did. Just double check what you did, okay? You did a single whip, you did a half step. When you sat back, everything naturally sat back with you. Weight shifted, easy to rock the front, as if it were a natural thing to do. You went up the horse's mane, you patted the horse's mane. You crossed here, you stepped out with your left, you shifted your weight, you came up and centralized your energy, and then you kicked out right. You went in and you gently went on your heel, not too far a spread, and you double punched the guy. You sat back because you need that energy stored. You don't want to shortcut your movements. You twist it all the way around. The bottom matched the top, or the top matched the bottom as we swiveled or turned. Came up with your left, kick out with your left. And we are now here. So what I did was, when I said here, I brought my left hand out, and I actually this way, and it's not, the kick is not forward, but the kick is on a slant, and then I'm here. So I'm here saying, I know that this is where my my toe is supposed to be planted. My feet are parallel. My toe is in line with my heel, and I have it out. No other way. If you should not get that spot, you're going to hurt your knees. So that was the homework several weeks ago, if not months ago. So in this position now, so while this guy is going out, this guy is bringing in the energy to stabilize you, but the weight is always here. So with this now, what did I say? The word stack. So when I stack a pile of blocks, I'm going to keep it as straight stacked as possible. I am the block. I want to be stacked. I want to push down. I'm here. I sit down. I sit down. This is only a placeholder. I'm not fully on my foot, but on my toe. I sit down. As I lower myself, this foot starts to flatten out. At the halfway point, I then veer to the left. My hands switch. What happens to my back foot? I'm not going to leave it there. I'm going to turn it. And I'm in a favorable, optimal position. I'm not going to stay here. It's telling me I need to move. But I'm in a 50-50 or 60-40 position. So I'm going to have to somehow shift the weight. I'm not going to just jump up there and not move my hands. While I shift my weight and use my back foot, I'm going to do the same thing with my arms or upper body. Toe, I know that position. I spin, I hook, I look. Weight is still on that back foot. I split, parallel as I can. I want to what? Say it. Stack. I want to veer right. I want to adjust right. I want to be in the best position, which I'm not. And then I want to shift my weight, push down, pull up. Heel on an L stance ball, heel on an L stance shuttle. Okay? It's okay. You need
Just a brief note. This sequence is a great opportunity to use your shoulders and your elbows to centralize your power, come back out. You don't just kick out with your hands. It's centralize the power, centralize so you're here, then you got your dantian, and you just go up and then out. And even when you're doing your golden cockerel, the serpent, you're coming down, you're coming this way. When you're going to do your cockerel, it's this stuff. This is drop the shoulder, drop the elbow, drop the sort of roll the shoulder, bring it, and drop it. Okay, so that's when you're going to be using here. That's how you use your core. Otherwise, it just becomes the bits of hands in motion and trying to get your feet in the right place, and it's not in synchrony. You want to use your body centrally, bring it in, put it back out again.
Okay, so good explanation. Oftentimes, I don't totally see how everybody is moving, and I take for granted that, you're moving like me in a general way, okay? Which you are. But use this part. We warmed it up this way. We're not just shooting our hand up or shooting our hand out, but we're using something in our core related, shoulder related, okay? But it's not contrived, okay? It's not contrived. So when you do it and you think about, am I using everything in my body to get to that position, then that's when it kicks in, okay? Yeah, it's a little hard, but you're gonna have to do some work, some discovery, some observation, some feeling of sensation within your own self, okay? So this time we're gonna let's work on serpent, okay? Let's work on serpent. let's take the first serpent. So we kick out left, right? So we kick out left, we come in, we go down, okay? But we're normally we're facing the road, but we're facing me this time, okay? So here's serpent. Let's take a kick out, okay? So shift the weight to the right, left hand on the outside, left foot coming up, kick out, left. In, down, down with the toe. What do? Stack, halfway, veer to the left, adjust the back foot to a 45 as you hide that hooked hand. Use your upper body to shift your weight at the same time, spiral on your axle, and come up as a golden cockerel. Now I get to watch you. Toe down, spin, left hand hook, split, stack, halfway, veer to the right, adjust the back foot to the 45, hook the hand, shift the weight, spiral on the axle, push down, pull up. Heel goes down, hold your ball. Heel comes out, hand comes out, rotate your ball, then shuttle by turning the hips and waist. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, hold your ball. Heel comes out, hand comes out, then the turning of the hips and waist to shuttle on the left. Half step to the back, across the hips and waist. What are we gonna do? Set it up, all together, down to the bottom of the seat. One hand comes up, two hands come up, then your foot, all together, extend the knee, flash arms. Sit back, sit down, pivot, left hand high, right hand fisted, exchange to place, kick out, right heel deflect, bring it into parry, left foot advances, right hand punches. Strip the guy off, roll back, push him down. Push him up, push him out. Twist step, open step, in step. Cross hands, then move over, up, in, out, separate. Drop shoulders, flex knees. Wrap around as you close your forearm. Okay, all right. Needle to the bottom of the sea. Needle to the bottom of the sea. So, maiden shuttles on, maiden shuttles on her right. Okay, watch what maiden does. She holds her ball, the left heel comes out, the left hand comes out. Does she turn her waist yet? No. When the hand of the left nears the forehead, she turns and uses her power to put her shuttlecock right there. What did I say? I said that when maiden works her shuttle, she does not turn her hips and waist until she sets it up and the power of the hips and waist makes the shuttlecock of the right hand place it right there without moving my hands. Why am I not moving my hands? Only because the power of the hips and waist move my hand right there. So this way, when maiden works her shuttle, the top and the bottom match. The hips and waist are at a zigzag. When the hand of starts to go to the forehead, the power of the hips and waist brings the shuttlecock right there. Sit back, sit down, pivot out, hold your ball, heel and hand match. As it gets to the forehead, my hips and waist turn, shuttles right there. So, to do it incorrectly, okay? So what did I do wrong? I went out, I turned, I went this way. What we need to do is slow it down. The hands and leg match, Then the shuttlecock gets put there. All I did to do was set this up and turn my hips and waist, and the hands went for the ride. If the hands don't go for the ride, you ask yourself, the hands go for the ride. If you say yes, then you used your hips and waist. If you said no, the hips and waist did not help you. You were not using your core, you were using your limb. So to do it correctly, you have your ball, you come out, then you turn with the power of your hips and waist. Watch one more time. It's not correct. Heel and hand. I leave it there. As it gets there, I turn my hips and waist. I set it up correctly, okay? Now, bottom of the C, half step to the back. Everything happens on the left. This foot now is a little awkward, the right foot, but it's going to get corrected as I go down. One hand. Now I'm stable. I need two hands. Then I need more stability. I stretch that knee. So you want to come up. You want to stretch this knee, and then as this heel goes out, these hands unfurl or they separate. Right? Right? Am I doing something wrong? Okay, well, anyway, I gave you a little bit more than serpent. I want you to go back home and work on serpent. I want you to work on needle. And if you work on it and set a new platform, we can move into more refinement. But if you just take this class as a class and a lesson and you did something, well, you may not be able to build on it, okay? So I would say make the best of what you have, learn it a little better. We have, today's 12, 13, 14, 15, 3 weeks more, and then we go on break for the holidays. It's not easy, okay, but whatever you can to support it is good, and over time it'll get better, okay?
As Lucille says, you know, sometimes you have to just build by bits and pieces. You go through your whole forms, the series of forms, and obviously the first part is sequencing. But I think you folks are at the level where the sequencing is there up here. Now it's just putting it into proper technical performance in terms of where do the hands and where do the arms go. And more so, we've asked you to look at the 10 essentials of Tai Chi as a roadmap on what are the underlying things you should have in mind as you perform the exercise, okay? And because things are getting more complicated, different people, as Lucille says, have different areas either that they are aware of or different areas where they've already accomplished versus there are areas which they have not accomplished. You know, I think the first thing you got to do is become aware, but sometimes that's not so easy because the outside people keep telling you, remember this, remember that, remember this, remember that. And as you do it, it doesn't quite click. But that's one way you have to sort of say, okay, I got it now, but do I do it properly? That's when you start to finish your physical things a little bit better. Things that I saw today, some of them are fairly rudimentary, some of them maybe a little bit more complicated. I want to get back to the rudimentary. Make sure when you use your body in Tai Chi, you use all of your joints. The tendency is to sometimes you don't bend your legs very much. You get to where you're supposed to go, but you don't do this and you don't do that. Of course, if you have impairment, obviously you have to make the corrections and the allowances. But if in fact you are intact, generally, you should try to make sure that the whole body is moving. Another thing is just distinguishing what different maneuvers or different forms entail. Some of it, one of the basic ones is, parting of the horse's mane. This is not the same as warding off, grasping the bird's tail. People get mixed up and say, this is the same as this. That ain't it. It's 1, switch hands, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I think that and what I talked about earlier, to centralize your power. We talk about having your legs substantial and insubstantial, but centralizing your power, the top part we sometimes forget. The SEAL tries to tell you your body goes for the ride, and we talk about the hips a lot of times. But say if you're the maiden situation, okay? The hips bring us, but we don't get there yet. All we're trying to do is, from this position, we're going to roll our ball forward. Well, I'm sorry, it should be head on. So, let's see here, I'm sorry. This, you are sideways, but you are wanting to go in that direction. You step out, you roll the ball as if it is going over the top of your head. But by the same token, you are rolling this down. And where's the body, where's the emphasis of the weight? Still on the substantial. Step out, but I could step back. But step out, roll the ball. This is coming down, so you're consolidating energy. This time, this here, you're setting up the block, but this one is setting up the energy so that all of the power comes from. That's what you want to do. And even this, when you finish blocking, it's a subtle dropping of the shoulder, dropping of the elbow, just on the point of imagined impact. Roll the ball, twist the waist, drop the, you've already, and as you roll the ball, another way of saying it, drop the elbow, drop the shoulder. This is getting to where you're going to release your power. So, up, turn, waist, and you let release, at the same time you're releasing this.